Alrighty, recruiters. I don't love them.
Mhm.
They'll get a hold of my throat and never let go. I was working for Securonics, but then they've got investments from Snowflake. The DoD loves them. Capital One's bought into them, but I'll just say Capital One used to be my customer, and uh, anyway, they could take forever and a day to do anything, or there'd be too many focus meetings to do stuff like that. But they have OpenXDR, they've used other stuff, they have other. This one here is a behemoth as far as a SIEM goes. It's not so much one of the easiest ones, but it does millions of events per second in huge organization silos. I mean, there's a bunch of open source SIEMs that you can get. Some of them are cloud-based, some you can just play with for free. Wazoo's an open source one that's basically based off the OSSEC agent. You can pretty much get a VMware image and or other image to meddle with. There's a Windows agent. You can piddle around with it. It comes with MITRE ATT&CK framework, and plus you can kind of scale it by clustering it. Whereas like Securonics, yeah, you need a huge AWS platform. You need Cloudera for data laking. You need 4 or 5 departments to set it up. I was part of one department, one particular department as part of the process. But they kind of gone. They want everybody to be a sales monkey too. There, us military types do not exactly have their sales demeanor that they want.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you dealt with Carbon Black or Cognito Stream at all?
I've dealt with
Because
dealt with
Carbon
some.
Black is supposed to be that VMware solution for all things cybersecurity. At least for the military and DoD, that's one of the things they were looking at for all our cyber teams. They're doing cyber protection.
Yeah, I just meant the Wazoo is a good one for it's open source, and because
Nice.
I was just saying it's open source, and if you want to piddle with it at home, or it's like small or medium-sized biz, related, plus you can get licensing or support from it. It's not too bad. So I just meant if you've never messed with SIEM and you're new to it, it would be at least something you can piddle around with at home.
Yeah, quite familiar with Wazoo.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Wazoo and stuff like that you can pretty much piddle with at home. Yeah, more of Carbon Black and other stuff like that, or Black Duck for like source code scanning. But like Rombo's basically for GRC, it gives like similar, but it's basically, compliance reporting. You've missed this or you've missed that auditing, or this patch hasn't occurred, or this one's is a basic level SIEM. It also gets threat stream, also uses like Suricata. You can also have it gate Suricata rules and everything else. I mean, the other ones you can get SIEM images for and meddle with, but at the same token, then like you have only so many days to get a license, and then if you forget about it, because so and so in your family had a wedding or graduation, you see my point, then you didn't reset it on time, then yay, then you have to just like redo it. But I've deployed with tons of different SIEM solutions. Like McAfee Nitro used to be one, and then from what I hear, McAfee is for sale again. I heard even like that they went private, and or like the black that Carbon Black or one of the other people was looking to buy McAfee in total. I heard some whispers of that, like Mandiant or one of them taking a run at them.
Yeah, for the DoD, they bought into a lot of things that required licensing, and they were given that free trial like crack. Yeah, we'll take that. That's going to be awesome. And then when it came time to renew licenses, they got the full bill and decided that they just didn't know if they wanted to continue on. So I was part of an exercise where they were trying out multiple threat hunt tools. And that's why I was asking the questions if that was something that was being used in the outside world outside of DoD, because I've done
I
enough time
mean,
in the military. I got to find
yeah,
something else.
I'm just saying the Wazoo is not
I like it.
necessarily, it's not necessarily, the hugest, or I wouldn't say it's just something you can home lab. You can keep track of your stuff that way. I mean, they used to have a much prettier dashboard, or might be even another prettier dashboard that they were using back in the past with JSON and other stuff. But uh, let's see here. The other one that was useful for the sock and hunting, this one uses Chocolatey scripting for more threat hunting type of stuff. You know, yes, we're going to click on the suspicious email. We're going to see what it does. Basically, you can take a Windows machine, you can run this, it runs up the packaging, it puts some pen test like packaging onto it. It does it all with Chocolatey and PowerShell. So that's pretty much what it does. It will bake, you can basically convert stuff over to it, and basically installs like Chocolatey packages, and then use Mandiant repos to update packages. It uses their custom repo for it. So you can make a Windows 10 Flare VM, and then, like some of the SOC process was like if you had a suspicious email and you had somebody doing threat hunt or reverse engineering, you could basically, you know, catch the malware and see what it does, and then get a signature. Like some of the banks will do this. Like Bank of America has a team that does this here in Dallas. I just missed it. It's been $150,000 a year, and you get to play with all the toys.
That's cool.
But yeah, I didn't have a CEH or some of the other, or OSCP certs at the time, so I was just like, no. So it's like, yeah, you get to do like the real job, but here you can get like a cloud. Basically, it'll turn a cloud Windows in there if you're feeling especially lazy. Um,
Oh, Vagrant, yeah.
can just grab a Windows 10 box and then plop these scripts onto it, and basically all it does is Chocolatey. It basically does box starter. Open source world is like box. Which basically you can provision a Windows 10 box or 11 from start. So it will, like this whole script here will compose it all. You can save a script on gist, and it'll set it up. You can even install like the various packages and stuff. It's basically what it's doing. But Box Starter installs Chocolatey, and then basically Box Starter just allows Chocolatey to survive like multiple reboots for like doing stuff like Windows updates and stuff that it needs to reboot, but it'll provision a box. But basically, this is doing the same thing in your VM. So you can use it to pick apart malware. You can snapshot it. Useful for that kind of stuff. A little bit beyond the scope, but like, if you seem to be going that way anyway, so may as well make mention of it. It's like you can develop countermeasures such as the ransomware signature, like hash signature or virus total signature, slap it on your firewall so it becomes effectively doesn't affect you. Other
Cool.
tools like Iron Port security for email, a lot of companies use because it will look for suspicious files that have ransomware or loaded with the Metasploit goodness that you don't want. Dear so-and-so, it's the red team you hired. Just please click on this PDF. It's got Metasploit in it. You totally want it. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong, right? But no, they have like the Iron Port like email security will, all the emails that kick out, it'll kick them out. Uh, Even if you have like cloud enabled Gmail, it will go through your box. It will look like say spam, and then like you used to get like the ones here that would have like the signatures attached. Like if I really wanted to open them, uh, but like the Iron Port will remove any of those that it matches with malware, and or delete it from the user's UI so they can't click it. Uh, Other ones too that you can do is you can go phishing on your users in a good way. So you can go fish your users. Basically, it doesn't send a real fish, but Known Before does it too. If you have a small business, you can go fish testing. See how well that the users in your don't click that check over that email class did. See how your people are doing. Like a week after doing the test. Like right on Friday when everybody's busy and frantic and it's deadline city and it's the end of the month. See how well they're paying attention. You can use this as it simulates a phishing attack and it does like a fake phishing, but they can look pretty good. Like FBI's been warning lately on about a scam like where like say your best bud at XYZ Corp goes on vacation for 2 weeks. He's in the Bahamas on a second honeymoon with his wife, and you know his kids are at the water park half the time, and blah blah blah.